Let's begin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending the Cyber 2.0 and Integrity webinar about securing employees from home. My name is Nir Rosenfeld, and I'm the Vice President of Sales at Cyber 2.0. At the upcoming 30 minutes or so, I will be presenting the Cyber 2.0 solutions for you. I will stop every couple of slides to see if you have any questions so I can answer them straight away. With me today is Erez Kaplan. Erez is the CTO and founder of Cyber 2.0. Cyber 2.0, hacking cannot be stopped, but the spreading of it can be. So what do? We give total defense against the spread of cyber attack, including new and unknown ones, within and outside organizational network. We don't miss any new attack because we don't have to identify it. We don't rely on detection. And we continue protecting the organization even if our program is removed by a hacker from an infected computer. The company was founded on August 2015. The founders of the company is Herzl Ozer and Erez Kaplan. Herzl used to be the CEO of many companies in Israel. The last one of them is Hot Communication. Erez used to be a senior advisor for Microsoft. We also have a great advisory board, and managing them is Professor Isaac Ben Israel. Professor Ben Israel used to be the initiator of the National Cyber Authority at the Prime Minister office in Israel. The problem as we see it, well, every company, every computer might get malicious software infected on it. Every company might get a single computer getting penetrated. And while COVID-19 hit us, we saw that people are starting to work from home, starting to work from remote locations. Bless you. Can you mute yourself? And the problem as we see it is not by a single computer getting penetrated, but the problem as we see it is the spreading of that malicious software through the organization. Now, the computers at employees at home are not protected. They don't have a firewall. And as we can see it, and since April, we saw it very, very distinctively, that hackers now focus on attacking the employees' computers at home, using the same VPN secured line to penetrate organizations. Now, the existing solutions do not really solve that problem. The existing solutions today are based on detection prevention. First, they try to recognize every malicious software, and then they try to prevent it spreading. Now, the problem in this thing is you can never have 100% detection. You cannot identify every malicious software that there is out there. A 0-day by its nature cannot be identified, so you can never have 100% detection. Furthermore, you can never have 100% prevention, because if I cannot identify all sorts of attack, I cannot prevent them. And the biggest problem is the defense systems today are good as long as they are operational. Once a hacker removes the attacks in an organization, he attacks the defense system and removes it. And once the defense system is no longer operational, the hacker can do whatever he wants with us. We address that challenge in two ways. First of all, we don't rely on detection to do prevention. We understand that we cannot identify all malicious software, so we don't try to do that. Second, we build a system that is built that even if a hacker removes me from an infected computer, I continue protecting the network. Our system is based on 9 patterns, and we are using chaos algorithm. We are using mathematical chaos model to do cyber defense. In our solution for working from home, as we saw it, an infected employee computer with Cyber 2.0 will keep working and no problem will come to it. Second. All right. Cyber 2.0 will prevent malicious software and cyber attacks from penetrating the organization. We will also protect the employees at home from anything malicious that penetrates them, and we will stop it from using a secure line to penetrate the organization. The IT manager doesn't require to do anything. Everything is done automatically through the cloud, and we manage everything for him. The employee will continue to maintain their privacy. It was very important for us to support the European GPDR standards. So, since we don't read the data and we only watch the flow of packets, we are not we are able to keep the privacy of the employees at home, meanwhile supporting and protecting them from malicious software. Our solution has already proven itself. When we went out to the market, we saw that there were a lot of solutions out there, and every company says that their solution is the best. We decided to put our system to the public test, and we did three great hacking challenges. The idea behind the hacking challenge was, let's do a public proof of concept. Let's put our system to the public test. And on three different occasions, every year, we invited all the hackers to come and try and penetrate a network that is protected by our system. The hackers had a legit computer within the network. The hackers had admin user and admin password, and all they had to do was obtain a file from a known location within the file server. Nobody was able to beat the challenge. So let's understand what we are doing at the moment. We are an agent-based software. Our agent is installed on every computer and every server within the organization. And before we start doing anything, we do monitor. We do active mapping of everything that goes through the network. And after 14 days, I will come to a customer and I will tell him, listen, in your organization, you have 3,000 software installed. Out of them, 2,000 are active. Out of the 2,000 that are active, only 1,000 are using network resources. Now, I want to stop the spread of cyber attack. So I care about the software that are using network resources. I will take all the software that are using network resources and I will check them. I will check them by their MD5, by their SHA signature, size, and various parameters to make sure that they are authenticated. They are not mutated, they are not injected, they are the original software, they didn't receive a malicious command, and they are not being toyed with or controlled by a malicious software. Once I'm done doing the mapping, I will come to the organization and tell the IT manager, listen, on your organization, you have 1,000 software that are using network resources. 950 of them are okay, but 50 of them are problematic. Let's go over the 50. And in the 50, I will tell the IT manager, listen, you have forged software. You have software that needs to be updated because they have known vulnerabilities. You have adwares, you have Trojans. I will show him all the lateral movement he has that's going on through the network. Once we finish going over the 50 software that I have a problem with, we will now have the baseline. We'll now have the list of all the software that is approved to use network resources by company's policy. Once we've done with that, we move the organization to defense. In defense mode, we block everything that tries to move through the network unless it was pre-approved by the IT manager. Meaning, for example, if one of my employees will try to install Photoshop on his computer, eventually he will be successful in installing Photoshop. Not to say if it's a bring your own device computer or his home computer, he can install whatever he wants on it. Now, that's okay by me, and the Photoshop will be installed and it will work on premise. But once the Photoshop will try to connect to network resources, once it will try to reach the organization network, it will get access denied. The IT manager will get a message telling him there is a new software trying to move through the network. It was not approved by company's policy, and I blocked the software. I want to go now through our main patent, our chaos engine. This is our main patent. It is an approved patent, and I'm going to explain it to you. Afterwards, I want to open up the discussion a bit so we can have answer any questions that might have risen. So as we can see here, we have two computers on the internal network, and one of them got infected by a malicious software. This sort of things happens on a daily basis in every company. Now, as you can see, our agent is installed on every computer. Our agent is the network filter driver, and we sit in layer 4. The agent is based on three unique parameters. The first parameter is the list, the same list of all the software that is approved to use network resources by company's policy sits in every computer and every server. The second parameter is time. Every second I change something in the network. And the third parameter is the same chaos algorithm that we use. Now, let's move the scenario and see what happens. I have a malicious, so I have an infected computer, but on the infected computer, I have an approved software, and it wants to connect with the network. It wants to speak with the other computer using port 80. It will reach my agent, and I will identify that this software is approved to use network resources by company's policy. Once I identify it is approved, I will run it through the algorithm, or I will scramble the port. 80 will now be scrambled to 10,000. On the other computer and on every other computer within the network, all incoming traffic, no matter what, all the incoming traffic gets descrambled by reverse algorithm. When 10,000 wants to come in, it will get descrambled back to 80 and everything is okay. Now let's understand what we have done here. 80 multiply 10,000 divide back to 80. Basically, what we are doing here is opposite mathematical actions, only we use chaos algorithm and not multiply and divide. Now, the infected computer also has a malicious software on it. It might be even a zero-day attack, and it also wants to spread through the network using port 80. It will reach my agent, and I won't be able to identify it. I cannot identify a zero-day, nobody can identify it. But if I don't know you, if I cannot identify you, I don't touch you. You want to go out in 80, that's okay, go out in 80. On the other computer and on every other computer within the network, all the traffic that comes in gets descrambled by reverse algorithm. When 80 will try to come in, it will get descrambled to 4800 and the computer will drop it. Now, the second parameter is time, meaning every second I change the scrambling tables. 80 is now being scrambled to 10,000. A second has passed, 80 is now being scrambled to 5. A second has passed, 80 is now scrambled to 400, and so on. So no hacker can do machine learning on me and anticipate what the port scrambling will be. Any questions that might have risen, feel free to share them now. Let's see if we have some. No, nothing written. Anyone? Any questions? All right. Well, moving forward. Here is the network design, what we actually do when employees are working from home. On the left, we can see an organization that is protected by Cyber 2.0, and on the middle, we can see the employees that are working from home. The management server, our security operations center, manages all those devices without having to alert the IT manager at all. Now let's run a bit attacking scenarios and see how the system deals with that. There are five attacking scenarios that we know of that are commonly used by hackers to bypass every defense system. You can bypass the defense system, you can deactivate the defense system, you can try to add yourself to the list of software that are approved to use network resources, and you can do a piggyback. You can use legit software to do your work for you. And of course, there's a man in the middle attack, which we'll be addressing later on. So let's see what happens if a hacker tries to bypass the system. Meltdown, Spectre. These sort of attacks are known through Intel chips, and these attacks are devised to go under the operation system and straight to the network card. These sort of attacks are devised to bypass every defense system there is, and eventually they will also be able to bypass my system. But even if they bypass me, I don't care. They will still go out in port 80. To every computer they will try to communicate, they will get descrambled and dropped. So the hacker understands that he cannot bypass me. So, like any good hacker, he attacks the defense systems, and eventually he will remove my agent from the infected computer. But once he removes my agent from the infected computer, the infected computer is now locked out of the network. All the outgoing traffic is not scrambled anymore. To every computer the infected computer is trying to connect, it is getting descrambled and dropped. The IT manager is getting an alert. Listen, on John's computer, the agent has stopped working. This computer is now locked out of the network. So the hacker understands that he cannot bypass and he cannot deactivate me. So he gets himself the local admin and he tells the agent, listen, I'm the local admin on this computer. Take my malicious software, add it to your list, and scramble me and let me go through. Now, here comes to play the real use of our chaos engine, of our chaos system. As we've seen earlier on, all the agents are perfectly balanced in the same mathematical order, which enables them to get scrambled and descrambled and reach the same ports. Every change in the list, once I touch the agent on a local computer and I change something in the list, what I effectively do at that same moment, I will change the algorithm. Once I add a software to the infected computer's list, the algorithm will also be changed. So yes, I will be successful eventually in adding a software to the list. But once I did it, I changed the algorithm. I will be scrambled on my way out, but never to the right number so I can get this scrambled back in. Once I touch the list, I break the chaos balance between the computers, and I won't be able never to reach the right port number. So the hacker understands that he cannot add himself to the list. So he does the following. He inserts a malicious software, and this software gives a series of commands. It tells the SBC host, which tells the task scheduler, which tells the PowerShells, who tells the Outlook, send a mail to the competition every 1 hour. Now, this attacking scenario that we see here is a live attacking scenario that we found in a real customer. Now, since we do active mapping of everything that uses network resources, I will be able to tell you in zero time, listen, the Outlook is okay, the PowerShell is okay, the task scheduler and the SVC host are okay. But the software that started this chain was not approved to use network resources, and I will drop the chain. This brings me to our second patent, our reverse tracking. Now, let's dive deeper into that and see what we are doing. Every process that comes up, every library file that comes up, every DLL file that comes up, I record it. I watch the network flow of all packets and from where they were originated. And in every given time, I'm able to show the customer all the traffic he has going on his network and from where it was originated. Furthermore, every process that comes up, I take their MD5, their SHA signature, and their size to authenticate them to make sure that I have no DLL injection, to make sure that I have no virus infection or any other attack disguising a malicious software as a legit one. And I am able also through this patent to give a great view of forensics. I will be able to show the customer all the Word version he has on his computers and every version on every computer. But I will also be able to show him on John's computer what the Word did, and I will show him all the flow, all the movement of the Word through that computer. It is very important to emphasize, I don't care if the Word has Visa numbers on it, ID numbers on it, I don't read the data. I only watch the flow of packets. Since I don't read the data and I'm only doing chaos algorithm, I don't slow down the network and I don't cause no latency to the computers. Even in some cases, I speed up the network because all the illegitimate traffic is getting descrambled and dropped. Okay. So until right now, we spoke about defending the internal network within organization, how we can stop the spread of
Listen,
cyber attack within organizational network. Please, any questions so far?
no,
Let's let's see if somebody wrote a question, maybe. No. All right. So until now, we spoke about giving defense against the spread of cyber attack within organizational network. But let's see what happens when I go out of the network. Let's see what happens when I reach other networks, other VLANs, move into the internet, and so on. I cannot scramble ports. Just a second. I cannot scramble ports to the firewall. The firewall won't understand what I want from him. In order for us to address that challenge, we devised our own unique gateway. Our gateway sits in front of the firewall, it has an agent on it, and it translates the port scrambling to the firewall. Moving through our known scenario, an approved software wants to go out to the internet. It will reach my agent and get this scrambled to 10,000. Come to the gateway, get this scrambled to 80, and delivered safely to the firewall. The same malicious software that wants also to go out to the network will also come to my agent. I don't know it, so I don't scramble it. Come to the gateway, get this scrambled to 4800, and the firewall will drop it. Now, our gateway has two unique advantages. The first one is I enhance and improve the firewall performance. Since I'm descrambling all the illegitimate traffic and it is automatically dropped by the firewall has less data to deal with, and since it has less data, it will improve its performance. The second distinct advantage is I don't have to use it just for the firewall. I can use it to every device that is transmitting data through my network, and which I cannot install an agent on it. For example, printers, scanners, cameras, IoT devices, or even OT devices such as water pumps, electrical controllers, and so on. And by using that gateway, it enables me a very big flexibility and a great layer of defense to all devices that are connected through the network. Any questions about the gateway?
no.
All right. The installation is very simple. When we go out to a customer and we do a proof of concept, what we usually do is install agent in monitor mode. In monitor mode, I do active mapping of everything that uses network resources. I take their MD5, the SHA signature, check within our own engine, check with external engines to see if they are known, and after 14 days, I will be able to produce a risk assessment report showing all the lateral movements running through the network. And usually after 14 days, once we produce the risk assessment report, a customer, first of all, gets something in hand, very valuable to see all the traffic he has going in his network. And by then, he will be able to decide if he wants to move forward or not. Usually afterwards, we deploy the system in monitor mode in all the organization, starts doing the monitor and building the list, and we move it to defense. Moving customer to defense usually depends on customer willingness to provide the effort. It can take 14 days, it can take a month. Our biggest deployment was 20,000 devices, which took us 6 months because we divided it to different divisions, and every division was moved to defense on their own list. So in summary, as we saw, we have a complete solution for working from home. We block malicious software on the computer at home from spreading and reaching the organization. And even if you don't have a VPN, we still are able to protect the employees at home. Our solution can give you a great network access control based on chaos algorithm. Our solution is good for IT management as well as OT and IoT systems, since we can use our unique gateway to give defense without touching the connectors themselves. We are able to give a continuous risk assessment report, the first one within 14 days. And of course, once you have all the advantages, you will be able to cut down the total cost of your cyber defense, because in one solution you can have so much. More capabilities that I want to stand. We spoke about our forensic capability, enabling a customer to see everything that transpires through the network. We are able to identify every network obscurity that happens. We are working in a zero trust environment, meaning every new software, everything that is trying to move through the network will never be able to move through us. We have the top of the line EDR, and the main advantage of our solution to other EDR is, well, EDR is endpoint detect and response. Since they rely on detection, we can respond without detecting or identifying every malicious software. And it is very simple to deploy our system. We can be deployed on premise, cloud, or hybrid solutions. If you have any questions, I would be happy to open the discussion and hear your thoughts. I have my CTO here if anyone wants more technological side. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. If you want to have any more information, feel free to get in touch with us through our great partner, Integrity. Ronen or Jennifer will be happy to assist you. You can see us and visit us at our website, and you can also download materials. You can download our agent and manuals how to deploy. Um, I think I'm done unless you have any questions.
Hi, Snare. Someone has sent me a question regarding how do we protect the cloud and the file hosted on the cloud. And that is a very good question, and I would like to answer it. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, all. I am Erez Kaplan, the CTO of Cyber 2.0. It's a pleasure meeting you and seeing you all. Regarding the question, how do we protect application and data which is hosted on the cloud? There are several methods that we can apply in order to do such a thing. For example, if the information itself is hosted on the cloud, file servers, data, emails, and similar application, then the solution is extremely simple. The basic installation of Cyber 2.0 prevents unlawful and unauthorized access from your computer to the cloud, even if it is emails or files. For example, if a ransom will decide to attack your information on the cloud from within the protected computer, it will be blocked by the same mechanism that Snare has described, with or without a vortex installed on your machine. It's part of the mode we are calling isolation mode, which can protect the internet, or if you're using vortex gateway, then the vortex will completely prevent it using the full chaos mechanism. Regarding emails, the same goes for that. If someone will try to use your email, hello? If someone will try to utilize your email agents in order to manipulate information over the cloud, it will get blocked by the same mechanism. That means that, let's say that a malware has infected one of your computer, which you're using, for example, Outlook 365, and you will try to send information using that Outlook. Our agent will prevent the unlawful information and will break the connection of the Outlook toward the cloud, while Outlook, who is not manipulated by unauthorized software, malicious, or whatever, will work seamlessly. I hope that answers your questions. If you have another one, please feel free to ask.
No, thank you.
You're most welcome. Nir, I don't have any more questions, so I return the baton back to you.
Thank you, Erez. Well, I would like to extend our thanks to our great partner, Integrity. And if nobody has any more questions, then I think that's a wrap. All right. Thank you very much for joining us.